All right, welcome back to We Care a Lot. I'm half of the podcast, Mel.
I'm the other half, Sam.
Long ass pause.
I was
for
like,
what?
Did she forget?
Today we're going to be talking about maid of honor.
As I sip my tea.
This concept obviously is very prevalent because Sam just was the maid of honor to her sister. But I also feel like we're at the age where people are having babies and getting married. And I feel like now it's just becoming a much more relevant topic where we're going to weddings. You're going to be asked to be at least a maid. I mean, a bridesmaid.
A maid.
A maid. Clean my house, bitch.
Bitch, be the maid for my wedding.
But
essentially.
That's
what it is.
You're going to have to maybe be a bridesmaid. And if you're extra lucky, you get to be the maid of honor. So
it's an honor.
We just want to go through the topic a little bit because we do find this concept, first of all, weird.
It's a little troubling. It's a little troubling as a society.
I feel like it's just become such a tradition that now it's just like it's what we accept, but it's kind of interesting.
I feel like it's with everything that has become blown out of proportion because of social media, like prom proposals. Before
they were
social media, it was like, oh babe, you want to go to prom? Yeah.
Are you doing like a cute little poster?
Back in the day, like in the 50s?
Oh, like in the 50s.
Yeah, or like, the 70s even, you know what I'm saying?
I was thinking like at high school. I was like,
no, bitch.
People were doing posters and
exactly.
shit. Like
we had Instagram. We were like...
halftime.
It was halftime performances.
How did you get the halftime slot, King?
Oh my god.
Damn.
Literally though, it's like everything else. We have just like gone above and beyond because we want to post about it. We want it to be like something the big moment, like a magic moment for photos. Want everyone to see, which it's just what it is. And like, I'm not one to complain about magic photo moments. I love that. It's just, it's a lot for one person or even like the entire bridal party to take on.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about everything else. If you have no idea what it's like to be a maid of honor or a bridesmaid in a bridal party period, this is your episode. We're schooling you.
Well, let's just go over the concept because I feel like that's initially...
like how to ask and...
Yeah. So I think like the bride, gets proposed to. She has to figure out her shit. And she's like, who are my bitches who are going to be at beck and call?
And... you gotta pick reliable bitches. You can't just pick your besties if your besties ain't shit.
This is where you really go down your roster of friends.
You said she's an acquaintance, but she's really, really good at party planning.
She's really good at planning, so maybe we'll bump her up.
Maybe I'll bump her up to bridesmaid.
And I think you can really, like, look at your friend group and be like, all right, who's gonna
bail?
Who's gonna have fun with it? Who is just, like...
gonna go with the vibes.
Yeah, who's just not gonna allow any bullshit to happen. Like, you really gotta... It's like you're giving somebody a job.
That could all be the maid of honor.
Literally.
All of the above. Yeah, it can be all on the maid of honor, or it could be separate bridesmaids.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if you're the maid of honor, it's mixed.
Hopefully you have
a lot of work,
some backup.
If not.
Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, you get your roster out.
Yeah, you pull out the roster, you
picking out your girls.
And then you
guys.
also have to consider if your partner is having a set amount of people as well.
Yeah.
Because if you want symmetry and like even numbers, you got to be like
somebody to walk with.
Yeah, tall people, short people.
Yeah, so you gotta match.
It depends. I mean, if you're not that crazy about it, then who gives a fuck? But also, there's like ways around it. Like I walked with 2 best men.
Yeah.
So like
I also feel like sometimes like they don't walk down the aisle. They just like set up, like at the front. Like
sometimes they're just already up there.
They're just already up there.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh okay. Yeah, you could do that too. The biggest thing for the past 2 weddings I was in was who was walking the mother of the bride down, because the groomsmen were in the wedding, or the brothers,
right,
and the father obviously walks the bride down the aisle.
That makes so much sense.
But yeah, my cousin's wedding, my cousin Dean had to walk his mother and a bridesmaid down the aisle. He had to run. He got up to the front and ran back. But like around, you know,
right?
I don't know if anyone saw it, to be honest. I was
secrets of the show.
I was in the back, so I didn't see. And then for my moms, both the moms walked in together.
That's sweet.
Yeah. So
I love that.
You always figure it out. It's like whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot to consider when picking your bitches. And then it comes to how am I going to ask them? Because we need to fucking make it a whole ordeal.
Yeah, it's literally promposal all over again.
You need to give me gifts.
I need a gift.
To be fair, in this scenario, a gift is fair. Give me something.
Give me something.
I'm about to fork over lots of money and time.
Get me excited.
Get me hyped for this moment.
I just like remember in the movie Bridesmaids, like how literally a butterfly just fucking comes out
up the box.
Like, she's like, my god.
Oh my god.
You gotta go.
My sister didn't do that.
Above and beyond, though, always.
She should have. That would have been really funny. Like a fake butterfly.
So then you ask your girls, right? I'm assuming no one's gonna say no.
See,
if you get a no,
that's rough because, listen, sometimes I think some people are better off saying no. I'm not saying I experienced this with anyone at all, but sometimes you're better off being like, honestly, I don't think I can give you the time, money, etc. that you need from me. Fair enough. Shouldn't ruin your friendship. That's all I gotta, or your sisterhood, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I feel like,
but it's really hard in the moment to say no.
Absolutely.
Especially if you do like a group brunch and everyone's like, no.
Oh my god, I have to fucking, I'll text this bitch later. Hey,
listen, after some thought.
I don't really have that in my cards this year.
For real though, like, I think as a bride you need to be super considerate and understanding
that it's a big deal.
It is a big deal. And I think when I was younger, it was very much like, hee, like, that's cute. I mean, when I was bridesmaid in my brother's wedding, I was 15. My mom paid for everything. And I obviously didn't go to the bachelorette.
Because you were 15.
And I didn't go to shit. Like, yeah, I literally just showed up to the wedding and one dress fitting for bridesmaids. That was it. And I paid for nothing. So for me, I was like, like, so fun being a bridesmaid.
Yeah, you get to be up there.
Like, stupid. But yeah, as I've grown older, I'm like, oh my god, this is a lot of money.
They're so expensive.
And it's also, okay, are we done with concept?
So the concept is it. Yeah, you just ask your girls.
Ask your girls or your guys. Maybe you have a man of honor.
Girls and gays.
Whatever you do.
And theys. Probably might be my wedding. Girls, gays, and theys.
Fucking everybody in your wedding.
Yeah, so then now we go into pre-wedding duties as
yes,
you're either being just a bridesmaid or the maid of honor.
Correct.
Lots to do.
Depending on, expectations or like distance, like there's some maid of honors who might be in state, or whatever the fuck the case. Like, I can't go to every dress fitting or whatever. I went to nearly every single event for my sister.
That makes sense though.
Yeah, it made a lot of sense. I went to dress fittings, went to a bridal expo. Like, we were doing the thing. we did everything you could do. We had meetings at my house like every other week. It was thorough. It was very thorough. And then amidst all of that, I'm planning the bachelorette, which the bachelorette usually has people that aren't also in the wedding, because my sister's wedding was only four bridesmaids.
Oh, that's such a small party.
3 bridesmaids, I guess, and then me. So yeah, obviously we're gonna invite more people than just the 4 people up there. And yeah, the bachelorette's obviously like the biggest deal. And I gotta say, I love planning parties. I love it. I live for the details. It's so much fun. And I did this to myself. Okay. I put in the extra hours to make fucking trivia games, to make scavenger hunts, have like a whole theme. Like, my ass was on Canva. I had an itinerary set up. I made the merch designs.
Yeah.
And depending on your budget, I was staying low budget. I was trying to keep the girlies slaying, we need money. And so to do that, I looked for the deals, and that obviously takes more time. But if you're a girly with money or maybe followers, you can just be like, hey, I'm throwing a bachelorette party, sponsor me, and I'll shout out your fucking embroidery business or whatever. Hack if you want to do that. But yeah, I think it's just like so many details, and like, as the maid of honor, I personally was so invested in the bachelorette because like I planned every little detail. I made sure like things made sense where they went in terms of the itinerary.
Right.
And I also was like reasonable with like, we went in fucking March. It wasn't going to be hot. and like we're not going to be swimming, we're not going to the beach even though we went to San Diego, like all these things.
Right.
So I was just super invested, and you just kind of got to like get everyone else as invested as you and as excited. And I think it's really hard as a bride because obviously their main focus is the wedding.
Right.
So they're stressed, they're anxious, there's a lot going on, there's a lot on their plate. But at the same time, as a bride, you got to remember, all these people are literally paying for you to have a free trip to celebrate your marriage. Like, that's crazy.
Hashtag be grateful.
Hashtag be super grateful. And I think it's like, also, bachelorettes are just hard. My sister's bachelorette was fucking lit. Like, that shit was really fun. But in general, I think it can be really hard when you have lots of personalities.
And different lifestyles.
Like, yes, some people love going out, some people hate going out, some people are fucking, I don't know, different diets, so you can't go to the same restaurant or eat the same meals, and like it's just a whole thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of these people, you know, only the bride knows everyone, so they're also nervous that everyone's gonna be like not meshing. So like try really hard to mesh if you're not meshing.
A lot to mix in. Yeah. So that's pretty much all of the pre-wedding details or duties.
Getting a dress on time. Please don't fucking be that person that gets a dress too late or didn't have time to hem it or didn't like
just make sure that you're on your only job.
Literally.
If you're not a maid of honor is just to get your fucking dress. Mm-hmm. Pay for your shit.
Yes.
For the bachelorette party. Mm-hmm. And make sure you communicate what your needs are for day of. If you need to get your hair done, if you need to get your makeup done.
If your nails want to be a certain color, ask the bride.
Ask the bride literally the details of how you're supposed to look.
Yeah.
And don't be fucking catty or annoying about how you want to look because it's not your fucking wedding.
You're not paying for, I mean, you did pay for shit, but like.
But I also just feel like, you should just be on your friend's side. And
like if you ain't gonna be on her side here, when you gonna be on her side?
This is her aesthetic that she wants. Let it be.
Not the aesthetic.
I'm sure you can have like your own moment in your own way, but like if she's asking for you to wear fucking flats, wear the goddamn flats.
Yeah, I mean, and it's totally like you gotta be within reason, because I will say at the rehearsal dinner, I was talking to one of the best man's girlfriends, and she said that her friend was in a wedding where she literally, like, the bride made all of them dye their hair the same color.
I'm sorry?
The same color. And this girl had pink hair, which I'm like, okay, girl, your hair is pink.
Okay,
like, let's be real.
Let's be real.
But it's also like...
They probably did it because of her.
Maybe, but I know I'm right. It was like a low-key jab.
Yep.
But it's also like, well, are you going to pay for me to get my hair done and then get it undone? Like, if my hair was just like, you brown. Like, your hair is brown. And
That's
she's like, I want to be blonde.
I don't like that. Yeah, I would.
I don't know. Maybe it exists. Maybe it was just this pink bitch, but
it was just like that, a reason to get her to do it. Yeah.
Exact nail color, like name of the color.
It's giving like when you're in a dance company. Like make sure your nail you have no nail polish. Or, yeah, like same red lipstick. Just all that vibe.
Like I get to an extent, but also. I don't know. Like, let us have a little bit of personality. Like, don't you want us to look like people and not fucking robots? Don't you want us to look like
the people that you love?
Right.
Yeah, no, totally. There's definitely, like, a middle ground there. I feel like, for one, don't be too, what's the word? Like, just complicated and, like, annoying and a nuisance.
Yeah.
But also, like, as a bride, do not fucking be picky. A tyrant.
So picky. Yeah.
Yeah, if somebody told me to dye my hair is the color that they want, bitch.
Pay for it then.
Also, like... Why do you want us to all look like fucking like quadruplets or fucking octomom's babies?
Octomom.
Like that's not cool.
Weirdly enough, the day of the wedding, we all had the same hairstyle.
Cute.
Like none of us were like intentionally doing it, and then at the last second, Nicole just had her hair down, my sister-in-law, and she was like, "Should I pin it?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's cute." And then I realized we all had the same hair. I was like, "Holy shit,
that's really cute."
So it just worked out. But honestly, as a bride as well, you're not gonna fucking notice the small details, like her toe color. I swear to God, you're never going to look at those fucking bridesmaids' toes. Unless it's literally bright blue, obviously. But, like, the specific shade of nude. Like...
Get it together.
And most of the time, their toes aren't showing. I get in photos. Photos are where things are going to be noticeable. But you have a bouquet in your hand most of the time for photos. and you're drunk in the other ones, so it's fine.
It's all good.
Like, it's all good.
Yeah, I'm like totally here for the even like the mix match colors now of like
I love the
it's
little
just so I just
eccentric.
I want to have such a fucking colorful wedding, and I think it would be
That's lit.
even more on brand for like Pride. But like love is love.
Dude.
But like not make it corny, like
You
not
have
a rainbow.
flag button.
Like I don't want it to be corny, but I want it to be super colorful. Anyway,
Fairy vibes in a good way.
yeah. Next off is day of duties, which
Right. We kind of tapped into
a little
I guess.
bit, yeah. Just making sure she's good.
Yeah.
Like getting the girlies together.
Just making
on
sure we're on time. Making sure the bride doesn't need a refreshment. But I mean, for me, my sister is so fucking chill. She was just getting her hair done, makeup done. She was watching Harry Potter. Fantastic Beasts, actually, she was watching, which I've never seen. But she was just hanging out, which is why she didn't give a fuck about us being late. I was like, I live for that for you. But we gotta go.
But we gotta get going, girl.
Fantastic Beasts will be here tomorrow. We gotta go.
Dude.
So yeah,
that's the way to do it, though. Like maybe not so relaxed, but like
yeah,
like,
she should not be stressed.
Don't be stressed. Like
she's probably already like nervous. Like, oh my god,
that's gonna be. I'm gonna have to do like pre-nerve prep because I feel like I will probably be a tyrant.
And it's just like
time.
You know, you're gonna be emotional. Like depending on what you do. Like first look. She did a first look with my dad. Yeah, I didn't watch it. I was not. I put on my dad's favorite song. I was such a fucking little sneak,
dude.
So it was in the bridal suite, and he had shown me this song months and months and months and months ago, and I had it saved, and we were like, I think it was like T-Pain playing at first. Like he didn't walk into that, but then we go, oh, the music. I was like, oh, I already know. I know what song, so I play it, whatever. And then she comes back, and she's like, he knew the song. I was like, yes. See, like, Maid of Honor winning moment. Like, fucking killed that shit.
All in the details.
Day of, also, I had, like, an emergency kit. One of the things being, like, a towel to, I'm like, dust off. You don't dust off water. Like, to soak up water from the, like, our bouquets and stuff. Because, obviously, you don't want to get your dresses wet. Fucking candy as an emergency. Mints. Safety pins, bobby pins, I don't know, like all sorts of stuff like that. A Tide to Go pen.
You're literally like a dance mom,
right? Literally,
stage
you
mom
just
vibes.
Need everything you could possibly think of that could go wrong that day. Also, you definitely need a steamer day of or the night before.
Totally.
We steamed the dresses. Also, our dresses were not the same color. We did not know this until we all got together because obviously we're not. You can't tell. It was so subtle of a difference that our dresses were different colors.
Kind of a vibe, though.
But we were worried at first because we only had 3 of them. And mine and Danny's were, like, pretty close in color. Like, we didn't even realize that they were different until the third one came in. And we were like, holy shit, they're all different colors. So then the next morning, Nicole brought her dress. And we were like, holy shit, they're all different colors. But hers matched another person's more than... Yeah.
Oh, so it's kind of like...
It kind of was like, all right, 2 and 2 at least.
Right.
So
I wonder if it was just like a dying situation.
No,
where like
oh yeah, it is. So like apparently you're supposed to order. Honestly, you should just all order on the same fucking day, I guess, because yeah, apparently they batch dye and whatever. So it's like, come on, just you're a fucking bridesmaid dress company. You can't tell me that you
get it together.
Like, come on, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, so be careful of that. But it was fine. My sister didn't give a fuck either. Also, it's like, what are you gonna do? Day of. We're all gonna bleach our dresses and we're all in white. Like, like it's
pale blue.
Like it's just
fucking tie dye. Fuck it.
Oh, tie dye dresses. So yeah, and it's all just like keep her calm through chaos. If there is something major going on, don't tell her. It's not really. It's really none of her fucking business.
It really isn't though.
Like, oh, the flowers aren't here. What is she gonna do? What is she gonna fucking do? Literally nothing.
Yeah.
She can do nothing. And then when she arrives and there's no flowers, we'll be like, they're coming.
Yeah. Pretty easy day of, I think. It's just like keeping calm, making sure.
Also, like walking down the aisle, making sure everybody's chill, listening to the instructions, because the best men, the groomsmen want to fucking get you all twisted and start talking. And you're like, shut up.
Literally, shut your mouth.
This is not the 4th grade. We're listening. I'm just kidding. A lot of the guys are fine. But, sometimes you'll have an outlier. And speeches. Last thing.
Yeah, speeches.
Grand entrance. I mean, a lot of the things just, they happen to you as you live.
Right.
Like, you're not preparing in any way. You're just like, fuck me, we're about to do something embarrassing. That's how it goes.
The maid of honor is the one, and obviously the best man are the ones who do the speeches.
Correct.
How do you feel like your process was with like creating your speech, especially because it's like this was your sister?
Yeah,
it was very much more close to home.
Yeah, sure. Like it could have been a shitty speech if I was just like her friend. I'm like,
I would hope it feel like a sisterhood for the other person.
That'd be a really funny start of a speech. Just be like, listen, I know I'm only the maid of honor because I'm the party planning friend, but anyways. That would be so
hilarious.
Funny. Anyways, yeah, so I feel like I'm okay public speaking. I used to be like really good in school when I was doing it all the time, and then I just stopped. So obviously it's been a while. So I was nervous, and I'm a big planner, so I started preparing probably like a month after she asked me.
Literally though.
Which was like 12 months ago.
She started with bullet points of the things she wanted to say.
So I just started a notes app, and I'd wake up in the middle of the night with ideas, essentially, like a maniac. And yeah, it would be like, I obviously looked up on Pinterest, the classic layout, which was like, introduce who you are, how you know the bride, funny memory between you and the groom, which I didn't do that because I didn't have one. And then like a toast, like a cheers, like that was the bones of a speech essentially. And yeah, so I did that, and then I kind of listed a bunch of funny stories that I had, or just like memories that stood out. And then I'd say like the month before is when I really started like making sentences out of it, and like having the bones turn into actually a story. And I was editing till probably the night before, or like like not big edits, but just like maybe this word would flow better.
Right.
And I went in knowing I wanted to like not read it, but essentially like read it. Like I wasn't trying to go out there and fucking wow the crowd with my presentation skills. I was like, fuck that, I'm gonna read this. And I think I did good. Like I looked up from my phone, I made eye contact with people in the crowd, and the crowd was great. They were talking back to me. I was like, thank you so much for making this not horrendous. So yeah, that was kind of like my lead up. So I fucking was so nervous I couldn't eat, so I had to ask the staff to take my food back. And at first he was like, oh, I'm sorry, we can't serve food after this. And my mom was conveniently standing there, and she goes, she's the maid of honor and she has to give her speech, do you think you could just bring it back and keep it under the... He was, oh, absolutely, we could leave. Well, yeah, all of a sudden it was like totally cool.
Like, I'm not just a guest.
And he was like, oh fuck, okay, yeah, my bad. They were so sweet. And also the day before, I knew I wanted to do a shot at the beginning of the speech.
Right.
And then I read the policy was a no shot policy at the venue, and I was like, fuck. So I talked to the coordinator, who also happened to be Sam.
I said, that venue is not gonna work for me.
Okay, so let me get into it. So I asked the coordinator, I said, I know you guys have a no shot policy, but I'm the maid of honor, I really want to do a shot at the beginning of the speech. She goes, oh, like, that's fine, just tell me what you want. I was like, oh, period. Okay. So then I couldn't find the coordinator right before my speech, but she kind of already told me what was going down. Like, we're solid. So then I wanted to find her right before, just to make sure it was there.
Right.
I'm like, we're taking shots. Where are they? I don't know. My shot? So then they introduced me to the other girl that was like running the event, and she brought shots. She was also really sweet. And yeah, and then it ended up being like, I guess you just had to pay for shots was the thing. It wasn't really a no shot policy.
Oh, it's just like there's no shots within the open bar.
Right.
That makes sense.
So at the end of the night, we all took a shot together. And my Dallas paid for them or something. The groom. I said, pay up.
Pay up,
babe.
king.
Stupid. But yeah, so...
Welcome to the family. Pay for our drink.
I should have said that. I should have said that at the beginning of the speech too. No, but the speech, it went well. I did cry. I teared up. I choked up. Like... I was like, keeping it together. And everyone at my table knew how nervous I was, so they recorded it.
Great.
I was like, I don't want to watch this. But then I kind of watched it, and I was like, oh, I didn't do that bad. Like, this is...
Dude, you're really critical of yourself. I feel like it's probably great.
I am. And I was like, my posture is horrible, but it's fine. It's like,
Big mood.
I said we knew that was going to happen, though, so it's fine. But yeah, it was great. People said my speech was great, so I was happy with that. And then the party officially started, and I was like, maid of honor duties are fucking done, which they weren't. I was sadly mistaken. I didn't actually think they were done, but I'm telling you. So then my sister had to do the money bag dance. Her purse was in the bridal suite, 2 flights of stairs.
Girl, you ran
away. I ran in heels, sprinted. It took me maybe 30 seconds stop.
Okay.
I said maid of
She's a runner.
honor.
She's a track star.
Like, don't test me. Okay, I will succeed. And nobody even noticed. I was like, love that. I was just so fast, no one even fucking saw.
Where'd she go? Oh, there she is.
I was like, fuck, all that and no fucking credit.
Could have taken your time, probably.
I literally could have just fucking slow walked, whatever. Yeah, maid of honor duties continued until literally the whole weekend, so.
That's good.
It's fine, though. It was great, and I love doing it, so it was perfectly fine. But best men. Let's fucking talk about the best men.
Y'all aren't doing enough.
Listen.
I feel like the best man should be at the same fucking caliber that
the maid of honor.
The maid of honor. Which, like, y'all should just get together and help plan the wedding.
To be fair, my caliber was pretty high. Like, to expect a best man to get there would have been a lot.
Yeah,
it would have been like him make a sweater. Come on, he's not gonna make a sweater. a hangover kit. They're not gonna do that. They're gonna have a pack of beers.
Literally, I think you chill out of the mix.
Literally, they're like, "This is your hangover, your hangover remedy. Go on." So I get it. I totally get it. But bachelor parties, like, guys just don't get it until they're married. So if this is the first friend getting married,
don't even expect anything.
As the groom, it's on you.
It's on you.
It's on you, unless you have a really great planning friend, or he owns a party planning company. I don't know. Or his mom does,
or like, some facet of
his girlfriend does. I don't fucking know. Yeah, the audacity of these men to just not. And it's time after time I've heard multiple horror stories of bachelor parties just kind of being a shit show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, at least plan something, like coordinate the location. I don't know,
at the very fucking least.
So
I feel like The Hangover really got every woman excited about, like, them having some planning skills, although that movie also went awry, but they had a plan,
and they had fun. They had fun
twice.
Yeah.
But that's not reality, apparently
men just
not it.
So further from the bachelor party, their speeches, the entire wedding planning process, I was told that they were not gonna give a speech, and I was pissed. I was like, what the fuck is their problem? Like, there's two of you, not one of you can give a speech.
That's on some.
So I was like, okay, this is whack. And long story short, rehearsal dinner, or I finally met them because obviously we rehearsed. At rehearsal dinner, I was like, okay,
You're like,
which one of you is giving a speech?
What's that?
Literally. And he was like, oh, me probably. I was like, oh, so it's not even a question.
There's a plan,
right,
of some sort.
So then I talked to his girlfriend, and she was like, yeah, I told him, like, what the fuck, like, you need to have a speech. It's like the maid of honor, I'm sure, is giving a speech. So she was like, are you giving a speech? I was like, absolutely. And she was like, yeah, he needs to give a speech then, like, he needs to start preparing something. I was like, girl, it's the night before. It is. I mean, to be fair, they have nothing to do all day Friday.
He's
except
literally
put on a suit.
writing something on a napkin as y'all are talking about it.
Their speeches were fine. They were fine. They were not bad. They could have totally bombed it. They seemed totally great. It's just wasn't giving anything other than surface level, which, like, I know they could have done so much better. I know it.
Like, you guys are best men for a fucking reason.
Yeah, and, like, their speeches were literally just like, yeah, we've been through some shit. It's really hard. It was some pretty crazy shit. Like, I thought we would die. I was like, wow.
What is it?
The groom almost died before getting here. Please share with the group.
Nothing. We almost died one time.
Like, fucking doing what? Ayahuasca in the fucking forest?
And then they're like, I love you, man. Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So happy to have met Crystal. I mean, it was sweet. It was sweet. It was perfect. You know what I mean? Like, it fit.
In itself.
Fit.
Yeah.
It was great.
Overall, though, it's
Love
just
it.
like, we need more. Well, in the sense of men not doing enough as groomsmen.
Correct.
On the opposite end, when you're just, like, constantly in weddings. I love the movie 27 Dresses.
So good.
A sentiment in that movie, always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
She had so many dresses.
There's just so many, like... yeah, so many dresses. But there's so many of, like, so many moments of, like, what we talked about, like, brides don't do this in that movie of like having these crazy themed weddings, expecting the very most out of your bridesmaids.
Yeah.
Nuts. But
I think it's just And it's funny because everyone knows, like, weddings just bring out something in people.
It's like sometimes nasty.
It's like entitlement to I found my person. It's like, whoa, I love you and I'm glad you found your person.
I'm here, obviously.
I'm here for you, but can we just level with each other?
Let's pull it back.
Yeah. And like like when you leave a wedding experience, you have to be like, take the good with the bad and just be like, listen, you got married, you did that shit, and I'm so happy for you. You just better be happy when I find my person too. It
becomes like this an IOU system. Like,
right,
I was there for your fucking wedding, and now when it's my turn, you better fucking be there.
Do what I want.
Act accordingly.
Dude, honestly, yeah. I say like, oh, as a bride, you need to be this, and that. And I'm like, I better remember this shit.
Same, dude.
I better remember these feelings. I better, like, someone needs to smack it out of me if I'm being some type of way. Because it'll probably hurt my feelings, but I'll get over it. So I'm giving Mel permission to smack me. Maybe not physically, but
I'll just
like,
shake you. Like, bitch.
Shoulders. Like, relax. So,
yeah.
Yeah, just a lot to remember during wedding season.
I'm like, I feel like for both of us, we've only like been in like family weddings, so I'm very interested for friends
weddings.
Like, it's gonna be a whole different experience. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a wild ride.
It's gonna be weird because it's like family. You can kind of put them in their place.
Yeah, you can.
But friends, you're a little more like, do we tell her?
There's more on the line.
We're like, this isn't forever, is it? Like, she could break up with me because of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, probably not, but it gets so sticky. Especially when like a friend can't afford to be part of the wedding, or you know, whatever it is, like they're just stubborn, or they're this, like, you got to know who your friends are before a wedding in terms of like, she's gonna be a little stubborn, I already know, or she's gonna be really involved, I already know. She's just gonna fucking attend. I already know that. You know what I mean?
She's just a guest.
She's just coming because I can't expect any more.
I feel like it probably, as soon as you get married, you start thinking like, what? Like, you pull out your roster and you're like,
yeah,
who's gonna be there for me?
I think it's a very big bonding experience, though, I will say, for everyone involved, not just like bride and maid of honor or bridesmaids. I think it brings the whole family together, hopefully. I hope, and not apart. And yeah, it's just like a really big special day, and like all the emotions kind of hit you, and it's just crazy. Like, everyone's crying. I'm like, oh my god, it's like, it's a wedding. Why are we sad? I mean, like, we're not sad, we're happy tears, but like,
yeah,
holy shit.
I think it's just like an overwhelming, because like obviously like you see the groom and the bride, or the bride and the bride, or the groom, whatever, the people getting married,
right?
Obviously you've seen them together, you know, kind of their relationship, but I think like a commitment in that way in front of family and friends is just so, like, being a part of it is like, you have like a sense of responsibility, or like a sense of just, I was there. I was there. I am watching you grow. I think that's probably,
it's a real big step in life.
Absolutely. Because then I think I was talking to my therapist about how, like, I was like, I don't feel like people really need to like change in order to get married. Like, it doesn't have to be such a serious thing. But I do think that once you get married, a lot fucking changes for you.
It's like nothing but everything.
Right.
Like, you feel the same. You guys are the same.
And she just responded with, a lot changes.
She's like, baby, let me just tell you.
The context was basically just like me saying, like, I have a lot to work on before I feel like I could even get married. Like, for me personally, like, I want to work on a lot of myself so that I feel more, because I feel like I want to have a commitment with myself before committing to somebody in that way.
And then having kids.
Yeah, it's just like too much. And so I was prefacing it with that, and she was like, yeah, everything changes. And like,
interesting,
was silent after that. And I was like,
was she saying like, you don't have to do all that? Or no, she was just like, in general, everything
she was
changes.
Just like, it's just like, she couldn't even explain to me, or maybe I didn't ask, but like, it changes in, it's not like like, I feel different now, but it's just more like, the nature of a relationship is just much more different.
Way more committed.
Like, even if you think you're living with your partner, you guys see each other, that you like share finances, all of this shit, it's not going to be the same as if you were married.
It's true. I think there is like a mental shift, probably, like, no, like, you don't get it, that's my wife, or like my husband, like, I have hella loyalty.
Yeah. I think for myself, though, I think about like whether or not that's true based on queer marriages or like queer relationships, because obviously we weren't allowed to get married for a really long time. And honestly, that's like up for debate still, I guess. And in a lot of countries you can't. So it's just like, I wonder if like maybe it means anything. Like, is it just like a separate commitment not to take it there, but like, I guess like when like Black people were not able to like get married because of his enslavement, like they were jumping the broom. Like, is it just like a different commitment?
I think so.
It's just like the commitment itself is like so intense.
Yeah, I think because obviously different cultures, whether we agree with them or not, have different ways of committing to each other, I guess. So like back in the day, if you were to say like a gay couple were not necessarily legally married, but they had made that commitment together that they essentially were married. Yeah.
So I feel like they still do, like a lot of gay couples still do that today.
Yeah, they don't.
Where
do
it's
the
like
whole...
it's an act of rebellion of like, we don't need to be like those straight people. Like, we don't need to get married, but like we're committed. So I just think like the whole concept of marriage is interesting.
It is an interesting concept.
But yeah, weird way to end that. But if you guys are slowly coming into these times where your friends are getting married,
oh my god, a friend wedding,
older siblings are getting married,
crazy,
congratulations to them. And if you're part of the wild ride, man, get to it.
Honestly, now I'm thinking about it, I was even part of the engagement photos. God damn,
you were pre
save the dates. Like I literally
pre bridesmaid.
I was for real, like I already know I'm gonna be the maid of honor, so let's just
and
I had to like organize my sister, I swear to god. She
love that girl. She needed the help.
Crystal, if you're listening, I love you to pieces. My god. We made it through though, and in my speech I said I wanted to slap her, but I didn't.
Purred.
So she already knows. But yeah, so if you're lucky enough to be maid of honor or bridesmaid or a guest to a wedding, honestly, when you're invited to a wedding, that's also an honor. Like,
totally.
They want you there, and there's usually a limited amount of people that are coming to these things.
Oh yeah.
So like, fuck yeah. Make it fun. Don't leave after really speeches or dances. Like, make it a moment.
Have a good time.
Definitely.
Celebrate how you want to be celebrated.
Right.
All right. Well, that's it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, please engage with us in any form, whether it's on Apple Podcasts, leave us a review, or Spotify. If you're on YouTube, leave us a thumbs up. Yes. Subscribe.
Don't be a hater in the
Follow
comments.
Our shit.
Please.
Yeah, please don't.
I'm like, listen. Side note, the people hating, the only reason, like, we're being shown to the wrong people because you keep hating on the page.
Exactly. Just don't comment.
So stop engaging so that the people who do like us get our content.
Also, you're just going to continue to
see us.
Well, just to quickly end this off, if you're listening to us and you got this far, I think you hate watching, or you love us. So either way, thank you for the view or the listen, the stream. But yeah, we'll catch you guys on Glowing Hour on Friday.
Hell yeah.
Bye.